Hi, good morning everyone. Let's get started with our next training topic, which is on system copy and migration optimization. So in this particular topic, I'll be talking about the ways we can optimize the export import process, thereby reducing the downtime, because it's extremely important. Say for example, if you are performing a migration for say 500 to 600 GB of database, if it is not tuned properly, it may go up to 24 hours or so just for the export import, but after tuning it may come down to 10 to 12 hours. So this is what is the effect of tuning, and especially if you go for bigger databases, like say for example few terabyte of databases, it grows exponentially. So we just need to make sure that we tune this process, we optimize this export import process, because just doing export import is not good enough. The business, they need the minimum downtime so that the impact to businesses can be minimized. So that is the reason I have taken up this topic for you guys, just to give you a feel of what it takes to optimize, what it takes to reduce the export import time, how we can do it. So basically here you can see these are a couple of steps which is required: database tuning, sorted versus unsorted unload, package splitting, table splitting, R3 load options, migration monitor, distribution monitor, defining load and unload order. So these are some of the ways where you can optimize the export import time. Let's see one by one these things, what is involved in each of them. So database tuning. So basically database tuning is like you are creating an indexes, or there are different optimization techniques for each type of database. Say for example for DB2 there could be a different, for Oracle there could be a different. So we need to follow the vendor specific tuning for read write. Okay, so just take note of that. And apart from that, there are some important things which applies for all the databases. First is the enlarge and number and size of redo logs, experiences from other pilot projects. Add 4 additional redo logs for 100 MB each. Enlarge the number of DB writers. Enlarge the table space, that is temporary table space. PSAP temp is one great factor which influences the export import time drastically. So just make sure that we increase the size of PSAP temp as much as possible. Okay, then increase the sort area. Basically sort area is used for sorting and unsorting this, so just make sure that we provide enough space in this. So increase the size of PSAP role. So okay, so these are some of the parameters. Then we need to, so then there are some parameters for DB, max DB. Okay, apart from the database specific parameters, now let's see the other parameters like sorted versus unsorted unload. So during a system copy, the database export can be done sorted or unsorted. The default setting is sorted, but if this export can be done without sorting the table data before exporting them, depends on a lot of factors, because export is faster but import will be slower. So we just need to make a trade-off, or we need to see which works best in your environment. Okay, if possible you have to consider the disadvantage. Therefore we prefer to offer the unsorted export option only to experienced consultants. So just make sure that in case if you are doing unsorted, you need to know how exactly the export import process works. Okay, then next thing is the package splitting. Package splitting is, as we have seen in our other trainings, is an option and integrated in SAP Instant software provisioning tool. So basically we can split the larger packets into the smaller ones, and thereby reducing the time to complete a particular package upload and download. Okay, so table splitting. So as we have seen that there are very large tables, say for example in a database of 600 GB, there could be a table which is more than 400 GB itself. So in that case it makes sense to split that particular table. Otherwise what will happen is that that table keeps running forever, and it just using one of the R3 load process tied to one CPU only and other CPUs are all idle. So no parallelism can be established for, can be utilized for that. So just we need to make sure that we are doing table splitting. So the process to do table splitting, we have seen that how we can do the table splitting. Okay, so there are some pros and cons. Basically, large tables are processed in very small packages. Okay, so that is one of the advantages. Disadvantage is that if the parallel processing is not optimal, if the single packages are processed serial, the complete processing for one table may increase when using where condition. Okay, so these are some of the pros and cons we need to consider before we can make a call whether to do a sorted or unsorted export, whether to do table splitting or not. Okay, now R3 load options. Basically, using the fast load procedure fast, we can do it faster, but there are some pros and cons. We just need to make sure that we are aware of them. Then migration monitor, this is a very important tool using which you can have a pretty good control of export, import, loading, unloading process. And migration monitor will help to create R3 load command files, R3 load task files, start the R3 load process to unload the data, transfer packages from the source to the target host, and start the R3 load process to load the data as soon as a package is available. Okay, so next is the distributed monitor. Distributed monitor is one of the advanced technique usually used in the Unicode conversion. Okay, then defining unload and load order. Okay, it could be in alphabetical order, custom order, or according to size. So these are different options available which you can specify. Okay, so that is pretty much I wanted to cover in this particular training session. Thank you for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.